So I was really sitting with what I was talking about in yesterday's video on behalf of focusing on the feeling, right? Focusing on what it is that you're feeling in the moment that something's happening, right? And, we're going to feel a very specific way. And if we're not tuned into that feeling, if we're not aware of that feeling, and we act, there's a good chance that our action is not going to be beneficial for us. For instance, somebody who is, at a very early point in their life. They're not emotionally matured, but at the same time, they're way too young to even have the capacity to be that emotionally matured. Something's happening to them, and it's making them feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's boundary violation. Maybe it is, you know, bullying itself is boundary violation, of course, but maybe it's something that has to do with the violation of a personal boundary, whether it is mental, emotional, physical, whatever it is. Focusing on that feeling is crucial. And it's interesting because for myself, I've realized that throughout my entire life, I've been completely incongruent with how I feel regarding something. I've felt unbelievably uncomfortable in many scenarios throughout my entire life. And because I was conditioned into codependency, into being a nice guy and everything, I kind of put on this facade that nothing actually bothered me, and that becomes a huge problem, especially over time. I mean, in and of itself, to ever do that to begin with traumatizes you because it teaches you not to trust your intuition, not to trust what it is that you're feeling, right? If if what you're feeling is to run and instead you stand there and just take whatever abuse is being handed to you, you're teaching yourself that that's just normal, and it's not. It's never been normal and it never will be normal, nor is it healthy. A far majority of society, from what I have experienced and what I've also learned, is exceedingly dysfunctional. It starts in the home and it expands outward, right? So, like, just looking at my own personal life, again, not going to get into the logistics of anything because boundaries are important to me. But in many scenarios through my life, I have felt very uncomfortable. And I have not listened to that feeling or those feelings of discomfort. And because of that, my life has unfolded in even further unhealthy ways, right? If you don't listen to the feeling, you're not going to have a healthy experience. It's really important to understand that. Genuinely, if you don't listen to whatever it is that your body is trying to tell you, you're not going to have a healthy experience. And what is healthy if your boundaries are being violated? What's healthy is to get angry because think about it this way. Your immune system, when a foreign threat comes in, a potential virus or a disease, right? The immune system is essentially being like, because it needs to do what it needs to do to fight that off. Boundary violations are no different. And when your boundaries are being violated, if you don't get necessarily, you're just going to teach yourself that you can respond in a way that's not healthy because it's not in favor of you and what it is that you need and your safety and security and your comfort and your emotional state. It's basically it just neglects that, and that's not okay. So I realize that throughout my life I have abandoned what it is or just completely disregarded what it is that I've felt in many situations. And obviously that hasn't helped me because it's put me in worse situations. So when you actually sit with what it is that you're feeling, you know, you have your mind, right? You can think logically, but you also have your emotions. Your emotions are a language. They're trying to speak to you. If what you feel is uncomfortable, and it's not a good uncomfortable, because there is a good uncomfortable. The good uncomfortable is I'm here and I want to be there. And there's this bit of discomfort that I have to go through to get there. So I'm going to make my way through this discomfort. That's good. However, the discomfort that a lot of people put themselves through is social discomfort, where either they don't have boundaries and they're just uncomfortable because they let people walk all over them, say things about them that don't make them feel comfortable, or, you know, their boundaries are there, but other people's opinions of them are more important to them because, of course, they've learned to gain their sense of overall self externally. They outsource it. And so, therefore, their boundaries aren't going to be too strong. So, when you're sitting there and when somebody's saying something to you about you that does not make you feel good, that is the discomfort that needs to be made very clear. All right, so that's the feeling that you want to tune into, that you want to focus on. That feeling of, okay, this person just said something that's really disrespectful. I feel hurt by it. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe with this person. I'm going to remove myself. Right? So like you can focus on feeling all you want. Right? You can focus on the feeling side of things. But you also have to focus on what the feeling is telling you to do. If the feeling is telling you that you're uncomfortable, it's best to remove yourself. If the focus, if the feeling is telling you that things are okay, that you're good, that you're safe, you can stay. You don't have to flee. You don't have to flight. You know, um, it's just so interesting because I'm realizing now how much of a part of this year feeling is going to be for me. I'm really going to tune into it. I'm going to sit with myself and I'm going to really, just literally tune in. Okay, what are you feeling? Okay, you're feeling this, that, and the other. What is that telling you to do? It's telling you to communicate more? Okay, communicate more. It's telling you to walk away? All right, then walk away. It's telling you that you're safe? Wonderful. And not only that, but also, just really being there and trusting that. And not only that, but like, you feel something. There are challenges when it comes to feeling, right? Because you might deal with somebody who is trying to convince you that your feelings are not important, that they're irrelevant, that they're not fucking real. Gaslighting, right? Um, Invalidation, all that stuff. So bringing all of your energy back to it does not matter. As long as you're being real and you're being honest and true, what other people have to say about what it is that you experience is not important. Because there are a lot of people out there that are unhealthy, and they will try to invalidate and gaslight you, and they will try to minimize your experience, and they will try to make you believe that you're fucking crazy, and you're not. So really bringing all of your energy and awareness back to yourself in those instances is absolutely crucial. Not getting sucked into what other people might think about you. Just bringing all of your energy and your focus and your awareness and your attention back to yourself. Because your experience is real.